So last time we left off, I was leaving Stockholm on my way to Gothenburg, where later that night I would meet up with a familiar face, Moose, who happens to live in Gothenburg, and kindly offered me a bed, stay the night, and the next morning we would then meet up by another familiar face, who's come all the way from western Norway to Gothenburg for some reason, Magnet. So this is a bit of a different video. There wasn't really a plan that I knew of anyway, and instead of being sort of the guide, I was being guided around by Moose, who, well, he lives here, he knows the place. Well, we'd find out how much he knew about Gothenburg. He knows more than me anyway. So, different format here. It's going to be just the three of us, essentially just going for a walk through Gothenburg. We're probably switching between post-commentary, text, and what we were actually talking about at the time. Excuse the audio quality, my microphone's crap and I know that, especially when we get near the river, it's got wind noise and such, but if I've left it in, it's probably worth it, okay? So, let's take it away then.
It's a bit of an identity crisis if you have those houses were, yeah. Most of Gothenburg is an identity crisis, generally. Because, I mean, you have some really nice houses and then you have some really hideous houses. It's still old too.
And they should watch that wall down there.
But
other than that, I mean,
it rains so much anyway, it doesn't matter. Put them away. But this, I actually don't know what they do in this area.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
Why is this here?
I think these are offices. I think. I really don't know. But then you have places like that. Just a giant tennis ball court. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Or just really rich people live here.
Probably that.
Yeah.
Leaving the mysterious pretty houses, we then headed to a walk down by the river, which was actually nice, but then we'll switch to an industrial port, then we'll switch back to the nice pretty waterfall, and then back to industrial port. It's kind of weird like that. Moose summed it up best as
Actually decent during the summer, but it's not summer.
Yeah.
After noting the season we're in, we then headed to an area with a bit of an unusual name.
Basically red rock, almost like red rocks, but red rock, and there's a red rock. Don't know why it's called that, but it's a very weird place under the bridge with this art gallery and a tiny skate park for some reason.
That art gallery Moose mentions here is the one where he first saw the rainbow-haired girl, thus starting the RGB saga. About 2 people get what I'm on about here, but if you do, this is the place. We then continued under the bridge, past some sculptures, towards what we thought, what Moose said, was a paper factory. Along the way we found the most useless psychopath in Gothenburg, and admired the new buildings and old buildings, some which Moose liked, some which he didn't. We then found out what this place actually is.
Yeah. Sucker factory. Yeah. With a lot of companies that doesn't seem to make sugar. Lots of photographers.
So with our discovery of the paper factory that actually made sugar, that actually doesn't make sugar anymore, we then head down into this tunnel, which was supposed to be lit by projectors and be fancy and all that sort of stuff, but it broke, so it's not. After the tunnel of disappointment, we headed further into the city and towards this nice neighborhood and this nice street.
Can't really see much from down here, but this is a nice alley with supposedly trees, but they're pretty dead right now. And a very nice school at the end. But I don't even know what car this is. It's an old Volvo.
Something.
Thing in Gothenburg where they actually did something and executed it. It's decent.
We then hopped on a tram, not the first time today and not the last, to head to Church. I don't know that. But it's a church built in 1914 on top of a hill.
We can see it's open. It's like inside. It's a very nice place. You see. So we came from. Oh yeah,
Well,
right
there.
down there. Yeah, that's the primary bridge. I'm so confused. But that's the main bridge that we were under, and the other bridge is in the center. It's further in. We can walk around it. Microwave New Year's here, which is why it's a lot of crap around right now. I don't remember what.
Someone has some kind of complex about small and big things. We weren't satisfied having it at street level. It's like,
Nope.
we gotta have it taller, way up there.
Yeah, there's some history to it, but I don't remember what it is. There's some. It's at least a woman, I think, holding her child. She's facing our back right now, looking out to the sea.
And the sea's over there.
Yeah.
Isn't she looking at that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, at least waiting for her husband to come ashore.
And a sad part of the story is he's dead, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember. It's something. Yeah. There's some reason for it and where it is. I don't remember what though. I don't know much about this city.
You're the best tour guide.
Can I get your picture?
Oh, that doesn't come out on the camera, but that's a pity. At least that's the unique thing about the church.
Yeah. It's a bit confusing with the neon lights, but the roof is very nice.
Nice ship.
Not even 100 metres from this church, we find another church with some painted swans outside, and Moose tells us about one of those landmark buildings in Gothenburg.
Gothenburg building over there, the white and red one. It was one of those buildings that were supposed to be cool, but kind of failed miserably. But this is another roundabout where the tram line just goes right through. There have been many crashes there as well.
Good to know.
So we then walk past the Art College, who usually display artwork in these windows, but they weren't today. We then encounter one of Gothenburg's many junctions of death, and then decide we're hungry, so we get a tram across the city centre.
Oh yeah, there's a... did we pass it? Oh yeah, we passed it, damn it. There's a hair cutting place, what's it called? Yeah. Which had advertising boards with women with rainbow hair.
Oh.
And I swear I had nothing to do with that.
We then got out at the central station and crossed one of the many canals heading towards food.
Also nice too.
We then come to Gothenburg's football stadium, the old Th3HolyMoose, even if it was built after the new Th3HolyMoose stadium about 100 metres down the road, which seems very confusing but caused by the stadium being originally at this site, then the new one being built next to it, and then the old one getting demolished and this new one built here. So the stadium itself is newer than the other one, but they never changed the names around to reflect this. We were here at the stadium, of course, to eat here at Max, which is essentially Sweden's version of McDonald's and far superior, so I would recommend that. We then headed back to the city centre, across the central station, and headed to Gothenburg's main bridge through the centre, but first stopping at the infamous Death Junction.
You have a tunnel going back there as well, and then you have everything going around here. These are all roads under the bridge, and there's a giant roundabout over there. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a good place.
Oh, trams going around through it as well, and buses.
Well, on top the trams go, but buses go below here, yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, and this is where I was doing a traffic jam. Like this whole place was filled up with buses.
Yeah.
And the bus, my bus was stuck here in the red light, like waiting for this place to clear. And it comes a bus beside us and runs the red light and just like drives past, like doesn't even stop to look because the traffic was stuck. It didn't get anywhere, so there was an opening. It just drove past the red light and just, nope, fuck you all. It was an interesting experience.
As we cross this incredibly high bridge, we notice this barge here, which has been used as a car park, which is permanently moored here, saves space on land. And from here, you see the folding part of the bridge, which is interesting when you have trams running over it. So obviously the wires need to bend as well, so I found that interesting. But the whole reason we're walking across this bridge was to see this racetrack here on this pier, which no longer used as a racetrack, but here there was a Scandinavian touring car race. Maybe even a world touring car race at some point as well. Why? No one knows, but here. Can't get access to the track, so we didn't go anywhere down there, but it's there. It's weird.
Go do a lap.
You're watching the diff?
Hopefully the diff. They're probably not going to diff though.
Nah, he's wearing a green.
Nice boring.
Vest. So he's probably a different.
Disappointed with that construction workers lapped the track. We then headed back across the bridge and down along the marina, where we passed various ships and found a museum here, which had several open ships, cargo ships, a destroyer, a submarine. I just walked around and had a look at them, even though the museum was closed at this point.
That definitely should be open at some point.
Yeah, I think it's open during summer. This is where you have the retro car meetups.
Oh, cool.
If you're ever here on a Wednesday during the summer. Yesterday? No.
No, summer.
A lot of cool cars. Not too many American cars actually, which is nice compared to most car shows.
Oh, you haven't seen a British classic car show? It's like, get all the Vauxhalls out of here.
There's only the bottom floor, which is a casino. The top two floors are offices.
Nice.
I don't know what that means, or I don't know what they did there. Something.
But did they make sugar?
No.
Okay.
I think it was some kind of accommodation for someone important or something historical. They're old, at least. Yes, this building did something important.
Sure looks like it. But they didn't take down the Christmas decorations.
What the pipes are.
Did they do anything, or did this like things there?
I don't know. It feels like you should be able to. Oh yeah.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Oh, it turned off.
Wait. Daily water, it says here. We can try drinking water. Should be the same, right?
I don't know. It depends. Why? I think it's just doing its own thing. It's just like ignoring.
Gas. Oh, now it's lining up something. Okay.
Ah. Yes.
This is interesting.
We're quite easily amused.
Electricity.
I would hope that wouldn't light it, but like, if your electricity cable looks like this, consult an expert. What's that water then?
Looks like poison.
That's not healthy. Not really moving that fast either.
I don't think these pipes are real.
Well, I would hope not, because like they're cut in half. I think whatever's in there probably would spill out.
Especially the gas pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can't be safe.
Yeah, I don't know. we like pipes here. There was once, many years ago, in a completely random place where they weren't even digging, there was a sign that said some kind of pipe, like a warning, construction warning site, with like actual legit text, like some sort of pipe and an arrow pointing downwards on a pipe, like, okay.
That's weird.
We then take a quick walk across a park and another canal towards what is allegedly Gothenburg's main street, even if it's not really central or really that main streety. But at the end we found an interesting square.
It's nice.
State library.
Yep.
The state theater.
Yeah, and then that's the cool building over there is the art museum. And then you have the concert hall. And the concert hall was really good for being a concert hall. I played on a Steinway piano in there.
Ooh. Look at you showing off now. Your Steinways.
No, but,
What, they just have one in the lobby? Can we go?
no, they have one on the scene. Our school used to rent the place. So.
Ah. Okay, that's really fancy. Your school rented a Steinway, essentially.
But the thing is, I mean, it's not used often,
Yeah.
so it wasn't really expensive to rent. Like, when it stands closed, we might as well use it for something else.
Yeah.
But the art museum is really good. It looks really boring from outside, but it's really nice inside.
Yeah.
I've never been to the theater. The library is very nice. It's weird design, but the indoor layout is it's very nice. It's very comfortable.
Yeah.
And the roof terrace that I talked about is also nice.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
They don't like you being up there if you're not supposed to.
Why did they put it there?
I mean, it's up there for staff. Like the staff rooms are up there. And I may have gone up there once. I was allowed to by that, but it was a bit shady.
Yeah.
Because I worked here during one day.
With this we then headed off from the square to head towards our last stop in this tour of Gothenburg.
I'm not be confused. Because I don't know where we're going.
We're going west. That's all that matters.
Okay.
With our direction established, we then pass the university with this library and then come across the fortress where we're heading to. This is a tower on top of a great hill with an amazing view of the city from up here. There's 3 of these towers, all similar in Gothenburg. They're part of the defensive network at one point, but yeah, at night, really cool. Again, like Oslo, the camera can't do justice to this, but it's a really impressive view over the whole city, especially when it's lit up at night. It's just really cool. Not more to say about this. After the tower, we then came down off the hill, which was sort of nearly an ordeal in itself. Getting up and down this hill is kind of interesting. And we then went and looked for dinner, which we ended up coincidentally at a British pub because they had some of the cheapest pizza in Gothenburg, and 55 kroner, this was pretty good. I can't complain about this. So that was the end of my day in Gothenburg with Moose and Magnet. We headed back to Moose's house where Magnet's car was, and he drove me back to the airport, and then he headed off himself for a stupidly long drive back, and I was in for a stupidly long night getting home. Again, delayed on the way back by fog, because that caused build-up of congestion in London, which meant we couldn't get out on time, and it was a mess. But at least Gothenburg Airport is really nice. I'm gonna say this is one of the best airports I've been to. I don't know if it beats Luton, but it's pretty good. So yeah, that was my 3 days in Norway and Sweden. It was pretty good. Really cool to meet up with Moose and Magnet. Still don't know why Magnet came all the way from Norway for this, but really appreciate that he did. Very thankful for Moose for letting me sleep in his basement. One of the best basements I've ever been in. Even though, to be fair, I haven't been in a lot of basements, but a high standard has been set for basements. I'll say that. So yeah, and with that, I'm done here. Who knows where I'll be off to next? No immediate plans for anywhere, except for, maybe a small 24-hour race at the end of the month, but that's a future video and a different topic. So we'll see you then.